house in Baltimore and Texas. And, this guy, I watched him play back in the 80s and got to know him a little bit here on Radio Row the last couple of years, and came to us with an incredible story of redemption last year, and is now taking some sobriety and some cleanness to the world to help people out. You may remember him as a wide receiver for many, many years with the Denver Broncos back in the day. He brought them good fortune last year and caught a lot of passes from the great John Elway. We welcome Vance Johnson back on.
Thank you, brother.
Man, what's going on? How are
you?
you?
I always love being on your show, man. Are you always like this? You're like a big shot of coffee any time of day. I love this.
Marcus Allen referred to me as something. What did he call me? He said something.
Oh, I can't remember. It was along those lines.
Well,
very similar, except Marcus was like first thing in the morning.
If you're going to do it well. Do it to the best of your ability. And do it with some passion.
That's you, brother.
That's what you got to do, man.
You're the Super Bowl.
So we're here. We're here.
Yeah. I'm excited, man. Thanks for having me back. And yes, I bring life of sobriety to the airs now, and that was the reason why I played football. I think, man, I had a crazy lifestyle in my career. It was all about addiction. It was all about just chaos and stimulation. And by the grace of God, even though I had 3 Super Bowls and a great career, I was able to live through the bondage of addiction that almost took my life.
I've heard your story, and Randy Grimes has been coming by year after year, and I know you and Randy are close, and he helped you. And, we've seen different players year after year. And I guess my concern, having had a mother that, had some addiction issues and a family, that had addiction issues, is it never kind of goes away, right? Sometime a year, 2, 3, if I don't see you, I wonder how he's doing.
Interesting you said that. I almost didn't come here this year, but I was able to, with this new company that I'm working with, Futures of Palm Beach, given an opportunity to come back to the Super Bowl to keep sharing my story about recovery and about just hope in it. And, I grew up in and around domestic violence, in and around the use of alcohol and drugs, and it was my coping ways when I got out of the NFL especially, but even during my career I used. It was just I showed up to the game. I made catches. I was a part of a great organization. And whenever I got in trouble off the field, it was just kind of a slap on the hand. It wasn't like social media now where literally you ruin your career when these things start coming to pass.
Well, when you see a guy, example, and, I don't want to name names, but Johnny Manziel, when you see what a young man, you
with so much ability.
Yeah.
When I see Johnny Manziel, that knows, because he's been around and he comes from to me the hood because of the way he lives his lifestyle, but he's seen guys get in trouble. He's seen the Vance Johnsons, he's seen the Ray Rice, but yet he's still following in those footsteps, not realizing that this invincibility or whatever you want to call it, that he can't continue to live forever. He should say, listen, I've seen these guys and I saw the outcome of what happened after they used themselves into a coma, like myself, or Ray Rice ending his career because of the issues, and he kind of took it full bore. He has the domestic violence, he has the addiction to the drugs and the alcohol, and people keep giving him a chance to go back and play football, come back out and have a good time with me. I don't know when he hits his rock bottom.
Well, I think we all see it unfold now in the social media space, and it took you well into your 40s, 50s, to get help, and a lot of people don't make it. And hey, look, we start losing people along the way as well. Not everybody comes here and has a happy ending or a story that they're at least on the pathway to a happy ending as you are.
Well,
what was the moment for you?
It's just by the grace of God that I was able to live through the coma that I ended up going through. I lost a son. He got killed by a drunk driver, and that's was the peak of me using. I started using and taking prescription pills and drinking.
How many years ago was this?
This was about 8 years ago when I lost him, and I started drinking heavily, using heavily, until 2 years later I ended up in a coma. After I came out of the coma, I felt like I could just work hard and not do it anymore, and I stayed sober for 4 or 5 months until I went golfing and had a Mike's Hard Lemonade, and I was off to the races again. And that's when the addiction, I realized, was just taking me over. There was no hope. I had 7 divorces. I had dysfunctional relationships. I wasn't in my children's lives, and I just reached out. I'm a spiritual person, and asked God to help me, it wasn't going to be a miracle. I had to go get help from a rehab facility, and that's when I went to Florida, had a chance to get sober, to learn about the disease, go to a recovery program afterwards, and understanding that, being sober is a gift and not a punishment. And that's this platform I have. And so that's why I thank you for allowing me to be here and ask people to reach out to me on Facebook. I'm always available via Facebook to show them the ways to sobriety. Futures of Palm Beach, if they want to go on the website, see my hope story, see the program that we have to offer. There's plenty of help out there, and we are one of those people who can do it.
When you look back on the moments where the change happened for you, where is that? I guess not having been through it, you always think it's one moment that, the tipping point, where things just change for you, or you resolve to change things?
Honestly, my 7th ex-wife reached out to the NFL.
And that's an incredible, just say that my 7th ex-wife.
Is that crazy, man?
That's
is that just crazy?
That lets you know how crazy this guy was. I mean,
my
seriously.
7th ex-wife reached out to the NFL to talk about this guy killing himself, and they reached out to me. I was in a denial state, but I was driving through the canyon outside of Aspen one time, and I was crying, and I was just screaming out to this God that I know I believed in to help me. And I don't know if he heard me, but I know that the only thing I saw and felt was I needed to go get help from professionals. That was my rock bottom. It wasn't even after I lost my son to an alcoholic who ran him over. It wasn't even after the 7th divorce. It was just when I woke up one morning and realized there was nothing I can do and that I was powerless and my life was over with unless I reached out to get the help. And now I know that's why I have this platform. And I had a mighty great fall from being an NFL superstar so that I can come back and show people I lived that life. It's not for you. Now you can walk in life of sobriety if you get the help that you need.
How often do you feel temptation? I think, and having never gone through this, I think there's a perception among those who haven't gone through it that when you're sober, that you're fixed.
Right.
That you're a finished
there's
product.
There's a bar
so
right
to
over
speak.
there. There's a bar over there. Sure.
My question, is it daily? Is it every other day? Just on average, I know there's probably not a one-size-fits-all
Temptation is every day.
Yeah.
And what's your gateway to go back down that road into full-blown addiction? My gateway is I'm remarried again for the 8th time. My gateway is looking at another woman with lust in my eyes and knowing that I want to see her, going and having an affair, thinking I can have one shot at a birthday party or go out hang out with the guys at the ball game. My gateway is a number of different things that will lead me back down that road again.
Right.
That's the reason why I keep pulling on this passion of sobriety in this life, knowing that this is the reason why I'm traveling in this path. I look forward to the temptation, so I can tell people that you have to live a lifetime of sobriety, knowing that it's a gift and not a punishment.
Right.
So I'm being tempted here, just being here around you guys, knowing that there's some limelight coming back on me and wanting to feel that feeling. There's something about alcohol where I even did a post one time. What is that feeling that you got to have, that you want to have, that you know it's going to destroy your life, but you want to have that feeling just by having that drink? Even your listeners right now know exactly what I'm talking about. But there is help out there, and I hope you reach out to me or come to our Facebook page at Vance Johnson /82 and or go to www.futuresof.com to find out a little bit more about our program and what we offer to get the help you need. I know you guys are in a hurry with your show here, but I just appreciate the time, man.
A piece of your part of this is you're known for football.
Yeah.
Does football make you feel good or bad? Do you go to Broncos games now? And I see you got that beautiful ring. You're walking around. Is football still a part of your life, or is that part of the temptation that led you into this, being with the boys?
When I finally got the help I needed, I could not be around my teammates who had invited me to a number of different things. I couldn't go be the Vance I was when I was playing football. Mm-hmm. When I went and got help, I came back. I was sober for about 7 or 8 months. I was offered a job to go back and be pretty much a ball boy at the facility that I got help at for like $9 an hour, and it was the equivalent of $200 a week. When I went back to Denver offered me a job with the Broncos for $2,000 a week, but I knew that the enemy is very subtle, so I went and got my job. I went down an alley and lived. I caught a bus to work every day because this is just the journey that I wanted to be. And I was not around the Broncos stadium for about 3 years until after I knew that I had enough sober time that I can start weaning myself back into where I came from to get that fame in the first place.
Where are you now? Did you celebrate the win last year as a Bronco?
It was funny you mentioned that. I celebrated the win last year as a Denver Bronco. I'm the only one that called the Denver Broncos to win the ball game and to make sure that I was going to stay sober for a lifetime.
Over here,
no, you know what I have right here? You guys are going to love this. So what I did for my 3rd year anniversary for sobriety is I rewarded myself the World Championship Denver Bronco Championship.
Oh,
That's exactly right. That's my 3 years of sobriety. That's my real World Championship.
Awesome, man.
Look at that.
That's awesome.
If I get the camera to focus on it, there
you go, brother.
That's pretty cool.
That's right. That's how you get sober. That's how you stay sober.
So this
and that's a ring. That's a ring way more important than just winning a championship.
That's way more. That's my real championship.
Right.
A championship of sobriety for a lifetime, man. I'll tell you what. My first 3 Super Bowls that I played in, I actually pawned my Super Bowl rings.
Wow.
And this is the first time I'm talking about this on the show.
Wow.
I pawned my Super Bowl rings. It's only been recently that I've had a chance to get all of my Super Bowl rings back now in my 3rd year of sobriety. And so if you look at all of them right here, I know you guys check that out, man.
Dumping them out on the table.
Come
Dump
on,
out over here.
man.
Whoa, you just lost one. We got to ring down.
We got to relapse. There you go, brother.
We put them on the finger. Man, you got a lot of rings, dude.
That's right,
What is all
Stop right there.
Not bad.
Got them all back.
Very cool.
That's hilarious. Well, hey, man, it's always you got a lot of energy yourself,
I
man.
do, brother.
And it's obvious you
sock.
got
My wife made me pick them all together in the socks. I wouldn't
You're
lose
a great sock.
That's great.
Well, here, man, I don't
Awesome,
want to walk off with that. That's a beautiful thing. Hey,
Thanks a lot,
thanks
man.
for coming by. We'll
bless
send
you
everybody
guys.
out to find you. It's futuresofpalmbeach.com as well as facebook.com/Vance Johnson 82. And I'm gonna last football thing for you. I was at the Drive game.
Yeah.
That morning, I got up in Baltimore and I flew with Phil Jackman out to Cleveland. And it was the first time I was ever in Cleveland. It's the first time I was ever in Cleveland. I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
Sitting on the 50-yard line there. Ernie, of course, he got me tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And, man, that's a
Quite
game that
the game.
when you just wind up there 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a game you tell people about. I mean,
all the time. In fact, I was in there on the drive, and John Elway came in, and we were ready to go home because we knew this game was over with. But when he came back in the huddle, we could see in his eyes that he knew that he could take us down the field and win. And that last touchdown catch was my best friend at the time, Mark Jackson. And when he spiked that ball, the ball went over into the dog pound, and I jumped over the fence, and I grabbed it, and I ran back and said, this is going to be one of the greatest comebacks in NFL history, brother. Don't you ever let this
30
football
years
go.
from now, we'll be talking about this in Houston
That's
in Super Bowl 51,
That's
right?
exactly right, brother.
Hey, man, be well.
God bless you, man. Thanks
Keep
for
the
this.
faith.
Thanks,
Love your
man.
show. Good seeing you.
There he goes, Vance Johnson. Luke Jones is here. I am here. We're here at Super Bowl 51. We are in Houston, Texas. We're at the George R. Brown Convention Center. Going to be here all week. You can check out anything you miss in the Bahia Toyota Audio Vault 24 hours a day from wherever you happen to be. Our morning newspaper ships to your email inbox at 7 a.m. each and every morning. That's brought to you by Planet Fitness and PlanetFitness.com. Last but not least, any breaking news, Dan Duquette, the Ravens, the Terps, you'll get it first on the WNST Tech Service. That is brought to you by Coons Ford of Security Boulevard. Nasty at WNST.net is the way to reach me. I am a very available individual. Baltimore Luke's the way to find him. We're on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Instagram, and streaming live on our Facebook as well as our YouTube WNSTV channel. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, and WNST Towson, Baltimore. And we never stop talking Baltimore sports